It's driving me mad. I can't do it. I came across them when I was looking for a present from my daughter to each member of my family at Christmas, and I wanted to get people something that was fun to do and that they could do amongst themselves and try and figure out each other's puzzles and whatnot. And I came across the Huzzles, and they just look like really cool things to try and figure out, and they're really well made as well. So they're nice little things that you can just have on your desk or have on the table. And you know, if people come around, if we ever get through lockdown and COVID, then you can just have them on like coffee tables and stuff, and people can just pick them up and just try and solve them as they're there. And so yeah, I didn't get myself one at Christmas, but I got everyone else one from my daughter, and then I decided a couple of weeks ago that I'd get myself one because I just wanted to have something that I could fiddle around with whilst I was working and trying to figure stuff out. I have been trying for the past 2 weeks to try and get this thing apart, and I just can't do it. It's driving me insane. You know, I love doing puzzles. I think as a kid as well, I really enjoyed board games and just playing games and, you know, just figuring stuff out and trying to... It's that sense of achievement, you know, when you figure something out that you've been trying to do for ages, you just have that real sense of achievement when you've completed it. So this week's B-roll challenge has definitely changed from what I had originally planned for this week. And a few months ago I saw Peter McKinnon's Edgar Wright B-roll challenge, and then this week I was looking for some B-roll ideas, and that video popped up again, and I thought, you know what, let me try this out. So I started filming that and got back to the PC, started editing it, and I just thought, you know what, this just isn't working for me. The shots that I got, they're meh, not that great, they're not that creative, and I just felt a little bit, you know, when you just shoot something and it's just like, nah, you don't want to show it, you don't want to continue editing it because you just feel like it's going to be a waste of time. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go back to my original idea, which was to try and shoot B-roll in a way that was story driven. And again, I know I say it in a lot of my videos, but I do shoot documentaries, and so I think for me, practicing putting those kind of videos together is definitely more beneficial to me. So for this week's challenge, that's what I did. I just picked something very simple. I was looking around my office thinking, what could I talk about and try and make it interesting, and try and do it in the documentary type style way. And so I found the puzzle that I got myself a couple of weeks ago, and that's why I did this. But I'm still trying to edit the footage in a way that's a little bit more interesting and a little bit less just here are some shots, and just try and actually think of the B-roll as a story as well, that not just goes along with the narrative, but if you took that B-roll out on its own, that you'd see it as an entire story on its own. And that's, I guess, what I'm aiming for and what I'm striving more towards with the documentaries that I shoot, rather than just thinking, okay, here's the narrative and I'm just going to shoot the bits of footage that go with the narrative. So it's kind of like having two layers of story, the narrative story and then this other story that's being told through the B-roll at the same time. So for this week, I decided to give my dual camera setup a go. Because another thing that I haven't done in the past with the documentaries that I've shot in the past is for the interviews, I've only had one camera, not two. And so the interviews are a little bit one-dimensional, and if I need to cut between them, then I've kind of zoomed into the footage and then zoomed back out again, which is fine, it works fine, but I think it'd be quite nice to actually have a different angle, and like I did for this. And so I used both my A7 IIIs. I've only got one external monitor, so what I was doing to just check that my footage looked okay on both cameras was I would just unplug it, keep it attached to the one camera, and then unplug it and put it into the second camera, and then just make sure that I got myself in the right position. But obviously when I'm filming somebody else, I won't need to do that. That was just because I needed to see that I was sitting in the right place. So yeah, I used both my A7 IIIs. I used my Rode NTG 4 Plus on the boom pole. I was going to use my Rode Link, but I'm not a fan of having the lav mic showing for certain things. Documentaries, I don't really like the lav mic showing, and if I needed to do it in a pinch, then I would, but I'd rather just have the microphone out of the shot. So yeah, so I use my NTG 4 and my Zoom H4n, which is also recording this audio at the moment. So yeah, use my Zoom H4n and my Zeiss lenses. So the one that I was using for the close-ups, which is on this camera at the moment, that's my Zeiss 1.8 85mm, and the one that's on this camera is the Zeiss f2 40mm close focusing range. Both fantastic lenses. I absolutely love them. They're great. They just give the footage such a nice feeling, and that's again something else that I didn't have when I shot my documentaries a few years ago. But yeah, so that was this week's challenge. So what I would love for you to do is in the comments below, write what you think the next week's challenge should be. And I'll look over your comments over the next few days and then put something together for next week's challenge, and for challenges for the weeks to come as well. So anything, it could be a book, it could be a coat, it could be literally just throw some ideas at me and I will see what I can put together for the following B-roll challenges. But they're definitely going to be these like little mini documentaries, trying to make something interesting of something that's just everyday. So yeah, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of these videos, then let me know in the comments below and give it a thumbs up for that as well. If you're new to my channel, welcome and thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, and consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks so much for watching.